specifically on Crystal Leary as she really embraced her role off the bench?
Yeah, Crystal Leary has embraced her role since she's been here. I mean, she's always been the type that played great defense, hustle plays, rebound, defend, and that type of stuff. And it hasn't changed for her since she's been here. I mean, that's one of the reasons why we recruited her, because I felt she would be somebody to come in here and play hard and get after it. And she has done that for us. And you know, at times she can score, but that's not what she knows. That's not her role, to take a bunch of shots. Her role is to defend, play defense, and rebound and hustle plays, and she just does a fantastic job at that.
Sunday, what was your take on her performance Sunday, filling in?
Oh, yeah, I thought I said that in the press conference after the game. I thought the key was when Asia got in foul trouble and had to come out, you know, and Texas was so big, that Crystal Leary, you know, I put Crystal Leary in there to guard their 6'7" girl, and she just did a fantastic job. And Texas got a little bit like, you know, they saw Asia out and they saw Crystal Leary come in at center. They thought they could force the ball into the 6'7" girl and all that, but, you know, they didn't realize Crystal's going to play hard and she's going to battle and she's going to fight down there. And we were able to get a bunch of turnovers and that type of stuff because they were forcing the ball when Crystal come in. But you know, I have all the confidence in the world in Crystal Leary coming in and defending the post or guard because she plays so hard.
That's what I was going to ask you. Just talking to her, she goes from 6'7" to tomorrow. Obviously, they're more guard and perimeter oriented, and she was saying, you know, you guys may be switching off everything, and she would be comfortable. What allows her to be able to do that?
Well, because she plays so hard, and she's a great athlete. I mean, you know, she's very quick and athletic and moves her feet very well, so she could switch onto a guard and at any time. You know, a lot of times on our perimeter we switch 1 to 4, so at times she has the point guard, other times she has a 2, 3, 4, and then we get in foul trouble, she has the 5. So, you know, she's the type of player, and those are the type of players you need on your team that can play several positions.
Does it make it more complicated to go against a team that's as, you know, big like Texas to a team that's more guard oriented?
Well, I think that's what's unique about the Big 12. There's different styles of play and that. You know, Texas, man-to-man, they sagged off, and Iowa State does the exact same thing, so at least we get used to that a little bit. But Iowa State, you know, they shoot a bunch of threes. Their 3-player last year, which was their best perimeter player last year, is playing the 5 now. So you can imagine what they do with her. They're going to pick for her, pop her, do all kinds of things. And I think where the issue is with, you know, our center, especially Asia Bussey, you know, she's going to be on the perimeter some. And that takes away from our weak side help and rebounding and that type of stuff. So, you know, our guards are really going to have to do a good job and rebound well and get into the paint, get weak side, and be able to close out on shooters.
Coach Okie State beat them there Saturday night. But when you watch that film, what did they do well? What led to their success when on the road?
Well, they struggled in the beginning. Oklahoma State did, you know, getting adjusted who their 5 was going to guard. And then, quite frankly, when they made their run the second half, they went with a smaller team, and they switched a lot of picks and really got aggressive defensively and got up and down the floor. And, you know, Iowa State was not hitting their shots like they normally do, but, you know, that's the thing. You win by the 3, lose by the 3. And because they shoot a lot of threes, if they're not hitting them, and then there's a lot of runouts, a lot of long rebounds. And if we can get those rebounds and get out and run them, and then we'll be in good shape.
So from watching that, do you know Asia Bussey, how you'll play her? What are the keys for her tomorrow?
Well, she's going to have to play. I mean, she's going to play. I'm not going to, you know, I'm not going to sit her just because, you know, but she's going to be aware that the player she's playing can shoot a 3, but also can drive you and that type of stuff. So, you know, Asia's a very athletic center. It's not like she's a big, slow center. So I have, you know, a lot of confidence in Asia doing a good job against, you know, their player. And then if we do go smaller, then we'll switch a lot, and, you know, Crystal Leary will be on the 5, and we'll go from there.
Going back to the game Sunday, offensively, it obviously wasn't a pretty picture for the first 35 minutes or so. But when you look back at the film, 39, well, at least you got 5 extra.
Yeah.
When you look back at the film, did you get good shots? Did you get? I mean, was your offense running the way you wanted it to, or was it more standing around than anything else?
The thing is, when people sag, and this is, you get caught up in their sag. You're always open because they're sagging. You always can reverse the ball. You don't have to set good picks because you're always open. And because of that, it kind of allows you to sleep a little bit because I'm open, you're open. I can reverse the ball around the horn and we're all open. So what do? You don't have to move to get open is part of the problem. And that's why I kept saying that's why you saw me probably extend a lot more this last game than I have in a long time, because we had to get moving, because we weren't moving on the offensive side. If we can get moving on the defensive side and try to get a flow and get some fast breaks and all that, maybe we can get into a flow a little bit. So, it's the same thing. If I see us standing, and then I caught a bunch of quick hitters trying to bring them off picks. And when people sag, anytime you sag, they're vulnerable to a pick. And so we got to be able to set good picks and that, but then you got to hit the shot. I mean, it comes down to you're going to be wide open, but you got to hit that shot. And if you can hit some of them shots, hopefully they'll quit sagging so much. And then the other thing I might say, because they're sagging so much, it's hard to penetrate because they're sagging so much.
So you kind of find, do you feel like sometimes, especially with your perimeter players, are caught in the middle, maybe feel a little bit hesitant about what to do when the ball's in their hand? If
Well,
they're a
sure.
shooter, taking the ball to the basket?
Absolutely, because if they make it, I'm clapping. If they don't make it, move the ball. I'm there telling them to move the ball, so they're looking at me like, geez. But, everybody's open. And they can come back to me and say, Coach, I was open. But when a team sags and that, you got to bring them off picks. You got to reverse the ball. You got to spread them, go weak side, strong side. You got to bring them out of that so they'll make some mistakes. But if you just make one or two passes, yes, you're open, but we haven't moved the defense, and that's the problem.